My name is Kylie Alfaro, and my Manna Youth story starts at Manna Multiply 2022. I never felt like an adequate leader. And so I remember being in Anna Wiggins' small group. It was during lunch. I remember saying, "Hi, my name is Kylie, and I'm just a worship leader." And that was the key. I thought I was and I carried that, and I was like, that's it. Everybody else is a better leader than I am. I'm not even a real leader. So fast forward, Nick makes a connection with Steven, and they get Steven and Ben to come down to West Florida and to pour it into us as a team on the weekend. The Holy Spirit in them had changed my confidence. I had walked in the authority that God had given me in worship leading. And the seed was planted because Steven had talked about Manna University. And I specifically asked him, what can I do? Because I'm just a vocalist. I don't have the musical background. I don't know how to read music. I only know what it sounds like. I only know how to sing. So how do I lead someone who is musically gifted? And he said, "That's a great question. This is what I got for you." And he hands me this Manna pen, and he's like, we're working on building a certificate program. This is how you can do it. And that's where the fire started igniting, because my husband had just got back from deployment. I said, "Honey, we got 4 kids, school right now just isn't in the book for us. So this certificate would be a great thing." And he was like, "Yeah, whatever it costs, let's do it." Leading up to Multiply, I had, this story is just so crazy. Anya, it was on Instagram. God can use anything. I was watching her stories, and a story of Michelle at Manna Mops was on. She was wearing a Manna University t-shirt. And she was the very first small group leader that my husband and I joined. It was called Warrior Couples. We were 7th group couples, and we had just got orders for Florida. And I remember telling her that God had it wrong, that our family was going to be ruined if he sent us to Florida. That was silly. But we all have our own ideas of what's best for ourselves. Fast forward, I see that video, and she's wearing the Manna U shirt, and it's midnight. And within 3 hours, I had filled out my FAFSA, I had filled out the application, and I had to get that pastoral reference and the other reference that from somebody that wasn't family. The next day, I had turned in everything, and it was just so surreal. I was like, Lord, forgive me for not praying, because I don't know if this is what you wanted. Multiply comes up. The first day I walk in, I see Michelle, and she gives me a big hug. Tears just started flowing, and she was like, "Yeah, we're gonna try and get you an audition." The very next day, they tell me we're going for a meeting. Nick tells me we're going for a meeting. We're gonna meet with Steven at 4, and I was like, yeah, let's go for a meeting. I get in there, and he was like, "Welcome to your interview." And I was just so scared, nervous, anxious. And from that moment, him speaking a word over me, confirming all that the Lord had done since Manna Multiply 2022, a whole year later, I am now a student of Manna University for worship ministry out of all things. Feeling like the most inadequate leader. But God has called me to this as confirmation. So that's my Manna story.